Hey, this is Ray with Crazy Calling. Thank you for joining my channel where we talk about tips and tricks for an effective and a joyful ministry. Let's go. The question comes up every year around this time. What program should we use to process angels? And so this year I have a guest with me, Michelle, and we are doing a side-by-side review of the Angel Webb program and the TSAMM program to see what may work better for you. In the bottom at the description, I will put the timestamp for when each section starts. So I've got different categories today. We have printing and reporting and user friendliness and online systems. And so look in the description. If you just want to kind of look at one area of which is better and which you might like more, look in the description and it'll tell you those TSAMM or those timestamps. And also, if you want to come back to it later and look at it, feel free to share it on your page. It should be shareable so that other officers that may be having the same question have the side-by-side to look at and see what may be better for them. And also, we'd love to hear your comments on what you like about whichever program you use and what you like and what you may hope to have better next year. So thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get started.
Thank you for joining us. This is a side-by-side review of the Angel Webb program and the TSAMM program, both processing angel tree angels for the season. And so there was a lot of questions last year that people had, and through the season just trying to figure it out. And you can't really get in there and mess around with it until you've purchased each one of the programs. And so Michelle has graciously joined me, and she is team Angel Webb. And so she will be showing you some of the things from the Angel Webb, and we'll be talking about some of those topics. And I will be showing you TSAMM. And so I've used both programs, but I haven't used the one that Michelle uses in quite some time. And so this is the one that I'm familiar with. Though I'm not all knowing on it, I will share with you what I like and what has worked for me, and she will do the same. So we're just going to get into it then. Thank you, Michelle, for being here.
I'm glad to be here. It's good to know this stuff.
This is how the pricing works for you go into TSAMM and you'll see those four things that are there, and one of them is Angel Tree. And once you go into that, it brings up the screen for you, and this is the pricing that's available. It says for each one that a unit is $375. So apparently a unit is $2,500, and you will get the pricing there at the bottom. So if you have 25,000 angels, you're looking at $1,600. If you have 2,500 angels, then you're looking at a price of $498.99. And I'm not sure. Michelle, I told you earlier that it was $375, and I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. But that's the unit, and then there's, I guess, tax. not sure, but
It's your 10 and 2, right?
Right. So anyway, so you go from that, and then from there, it'll take you on down. It's pretty easy. Once it comes up, it shows you the right. Oh, I just blew that up so you could see it a little bit better. Okay, so then it just comes up and tells your information. You fill it out, and once you push submit under there, you're done. You're signed on, and you can get into your program. All right, Michelle, you want to tell us a little bit about Angel Webb pricing?
Sure. I have a small core. Well, my first appointment was a very small core. My second appointment was a bit bigger, but I think I'm still considered a small core for Angel Webb. And so my pricing is usually about $140 a year. That covers up to, I think it's like 5,000 angels. And
wow.
So, yeah. So, and there's no extra fees or anything like that. Peter Horn is fantastic, sends you an invoice, and that's that. I please forgive me, but I've only ever sent him an email to get started in it, and then that's been how I've done it. So there's no screenshot of a fancy pricing system. It's a little bit more of a down home sort of a program,
Yeah.
but it works really, really well. So your startup costs and everything, it's going to be under $200. I think it's about $140 a year.
Wonderful. And tell everybody real quick, of course, most officers at this point that would use either one, unless you're in a different territory, and I don't know how that would work, but can you tell everybody how they would get a hold of Peter Horn if Angel Webb is what they would like to
If they're
use?
interested in that, yeah,
Yes.
sure. We'd email support@pwhdev.com. So that's support@pwhdev.com. And you can just email him and ask him questions about the program, and tell him that you want to join, and and he'll help you go right through it. He's really good about tech support.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So going into an overview and user friendliness, this is once you click on I'm sure you've all seen the angel tree emblem. If not, when you go into, let's just go to home and see if it comes up there. Yes. Okay. So this angel tree emblem, when you come up in TSAMM, this is the program that we are going into. And this tells you at the beginning, I really liked this wheel. I didn't really do much with this. I'm showing you with my fingers. I really liked this one. I didn't do much with this one last year because we didn't schedule the appointments. But for this, I loved this because you can process your angels along the way, and it tells you how many you have, how many are submitted, how many approved, all the things you need, adopted, and even fulfilled, when they've come back. And some of our volunteers, we would show them that wheel at the end and show them how many they processed. And they really like that. They really like seeing the wheel and how many they process. So when you come in, the first thing you have to do is set up your campaign. And now I will tell you, I thought that I could just show you this because my one from last year had been open, and then I did not hit this finalized campaign. Last year was my first year ever using it, and I had spent a day setting up it. And I think that they've changed that. They must have heard about it because this year it got to a certain point where you could no longer see your last one. And so I think they just finalized it for me so I could purchase another one. But if you go in and everything's already there and you haven't paid for anything, you're not doing it. So finalize your campaign, okay? So that, because you can close out the last year's and then do this one. So this just is how you set it up. And it's really, I am not a technical person at all. It took me 2 hours just to figure out how to Zoom and live on Facebook. So this is just, it tells, you set up your basic information, you put in edit campaign. It has your sites. These are all of your sites that you have and you can just check off what you'll use them for: intake, adoption, drop off, or distribution. And then when you go to those sites, whatever you checked, I have not totally set up mine yet in case anybody had any questions, but whatever you checked in that last list will be on each one of these: intake, adoption, drop off, and distribution. So this kind of dictates what's going to be here. Okay. And then you have to set up distribution appointments before you can enter in applications. On the application part, you have the opportunity to set up, you pick one of these, and then you set up what you want to show up on the application, what you want to ask, and also what you want to be required. So, of course, the name, you want to ask it and you want to require it. But shoe size, you may ask it, but not require it. And so you get to choose those things all the way down to your, what kind of forms you want for money, for income proof and all of that. You get to choose all of that on your applications, and you can do different applications. The special care application is for if you do companies, if you do somebody that helps refugees and they don't have a lot of paperwork, or you do older, you do like you help a nursing home and you have one person that takes in for them. That's what the special care is for. Documents, you just get to decide here what kind of documents are required, and you just go into that and add the name of it, and so that's easy. Seasonal programs, I'm not totally sure I understand what that is, so I'm not going to explain to you. I got through last year without using it. So, online is this is where you set up what your online page is going to look like, and then finalize campaign. You never touch the red button until the end of your program, and so that's how you set it up, and it's very user friendly. I did make a fake record, but I'll show you some of that, the other stuff that's for it when we get to that. But I find it to be very user friendly. I figured it out myself. There's helps that I'll talk about in tech support. And if I can figure out how to do it myself, I feel like it's the way to go. So Michelle, will you give us an overview of Angel Webb?
Sure. All right. So this is the home page for Angel Webb. It's pwhdev.net. And my husband's logged in, but that's okay. You're going to find Peter's address, Peter Horn's tech support address. And if you have any questions or anything like that, down at the bottom here, he'll send you logins so that you've got all of that. And then I'm gonna just be really upfront with you. This is a web-based program. Like the stuff that you'll do is mainly on the internet. However, it's run out of Access. So really, to run this program, to use Angel Webb, you need to have Microsoft Access. You don't have to know a whole lot about it because he will walk you through it through some documents that he's made up, and there's some helpful tutorials and stuff, but you do have to have it. So this program, you can't do the whole thing just on a MacBook. You have to have a PC that runs Access. So you can do all kinds of really great setup things here. It's been a little while since I've done any of this stuff, but he takes you right through it, and he's added a bunch of stuff that I haven't seen before. So I'm going to be looking at this for the first time.
Doesn't he set up something for you before he sends it, like a general? I kind of remember sending him information.
Yeah, he does. He sets up your area codes, like your service unit area codes, so you don't have to put that stuff in. Okay. But you still have control over how you want to take your income requirements, whether you want to do like documents, like bills and stuff, or if you want to do like a certain dollar amount for their annual income, things like that.
Yeah.
So you go into under manage, you go into manage core or unit setup. And then you get to put in, you just go through all of these checklists. You know, this is where you can put whether you're willing to accept bikes, how many applications, financial allowances, things like that. And you can change all kinds of stuff. This one, you know, it's just help on deleting stuff. Like a lot of this stuff, I don't fully understand, but that's because Peter does such a great job of this that a lot of it doesn't need to be changed. This screen, however, is very cool because this is where you can put what you're going to put on your Angel tag. Yeah, this is the Angel tag one. So you get to change and personalize your Angel tag so that you've got the address where you want it returned. You've got all of that stuff that you get to customize yourself. So that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. Pre-registration messages, like the appointment sheet messages, things like that, you get to work. You get to do it. There's a lot of stuff that's already in there. It's in English and in Spanish, which is very helpful, I found. It's really, really customizable. You get to ask what kinds of questions are going to go on there, you know, sizes, drop down menus for that. You can choose if you're going to do like, you know, if you're going to add books into the gift tag, things like that. So it's very, very customizable. It takes a little bit of fiddling with because it is Access based. And if you're not as strong in Access, then it's maybe not quite as intuitive as TSAMM looks, But again, remember that it's like a third of the cost.
Right.
So.
You pay for intuitivity. Is that a thing?
Sure. Yeah. The user friendliness, it is very user friendly. Don't get me wrong. And once you get familiar with it, it's super helpful.
So the familiarizing time is a little bit longer.
It is a little bit longer, but once you've got it, you've got it. It's really easy.
That sounds good. I want to tell you, thank you, Jessie. She said that seasonal programs are to use this data for other activities you use for the clients, inviting to character building, community resources, events, etc. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Overview and user friendliness. You find the setup pretty easy for Angel Webb, and
it looks a little bit more complicated, just based on what it looks like. But there's a lot of stuff in there. You're going to be able to find whatever you really need, and so I think it's a fantastic program. It just takes maybe a little bit more digging to find it. Okay. Once you know it, or especially if you've got somebody that's really good at access, like you can build a house with this. It's amazing.
Okay. And you also mentioned if they had a Mac, it would not work with Mac.
Well, okay, so I have a Mac, but when
I pictured you for a Mac user, so I was shocked by that.
Yeah, my husband and I both have Macs, but we have to use a PC or at least split the hard drive on the Mac and have one run Windows because there's no access for Mac. Okay. So you do have to have access to a PC that runs Microsoft Access.
Yeah.
But you can do that in your office. You can do that with like your bookkeeper's computer or something like that, if that's what it comes to. As far as taking the applications and stuff, if it accesses the internet, you're good. You can use it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and if you have a Mac, you know how to like split the PC and stuff. That's like it comes with the territory of the Mac, right?
No, I think it's just my husband.
Yeah, right.
He's a little bit more techie than I am.
Right. Okay, so online registration options and usefulness. I'm going to go back and share my screen here for you. And so the online options, there are a few things that I really liked. It has these, I didn't want to do totally online because I really appreciate having some kind of what's it called, community or contact we can.
Yeah.
And we have a great driveway for doing a drive-through, and so that's what we did. So I was still able to get prayer cards, which sounds like if you have the seasonal thing, if you know how to use that, then you would be able to do that. So for I'm trying to find it now. Okay, I can print out invitation codes, and when I print off, that's fine. You can just go into invitation codes and hit this generate new codes, and you can set your online applications when you go to set that up in your why are words hard today? In your oh my goodness. Y'all, it's the aging, okay? It's hormonal. I got menopause brain. Okay. It is campaign. That's the word. When you go into your campaign and you set up your online, you can set up your online applications to either take them and need all of the information there, or you can take them to set up an invitation code. And that's what you use these for. And so I really liked that. We gave them a form when they came and they were able to take it home and apply that way. We were able to give them information such as, don't apply for something more than $40 to $60, or we can't do game systems. We wrote those invitation codes out on there, and then they were able to go fill it out. But it gave us the opportunity to see them, and it also gave us the opportunity that we didn't have to have them download, because I don't ask for a lot of financial information anyway. Mm-hmm. I just really want to see their birth certificate, and then I kept a chart of who applied, their phone number, and how many kids they had. And so when it gets submitted, then we're able to check it and make sure that that information is accurate. So it's not like 10 kids later, or one lady accidentally entered two of her children twice because she wasn't great at computers, and so that helped us to go through and fix that. So I really loved that portion of the program, and so that's what I use for that. And then the Angels, you can also go on and help people fill it out once they've been online, but they found it pretty easy. I don't have a way, I don't think yet, until I fully set it up to access the online, but it's really basic. They just put their invitation code in and they go in. I will tell you, I had to have them, you don't have to use the invitation code. You can have them go in and put all of their information, have them download all of their information. Some people, though, said that was tricky when people had to try to scan in or download all of their invitation. Really, to me, using the invitation code, which is the only way I've done it, was so helpful. They drove through, I looked at their information, I just, wrote down their name, phone number, and amount of kids, and then we were able to check it really quick when it came in. And then the Angel records come in. And so I just made these up yesterday so that I could show you. But, once the Angel records come in, it shows me who they are and what they are, or you can see it on family records as well, applicant records. And then it shows, and there's another one that shows, I think, is this it? Yeah, so it'll show their what they asked for as well. So you can go here to check it. So I found the online options to be really helpful for me, and I loved that combined where they could drive through and I could see them and then go from there. So let me go out of my stop share, and then I will let Angel Tree, I will let Michelle share about her Angel Webb. Okay, you should be good to go.
Okay. So I don't have, oh, there we go. I don't have the online setup yet for this year, but like I said, he's fantastic about making sure that you've got tutorials, and it's pretty simple. Now, the online was new for us this past year because of COVID, and so we went into the help and FAQs, and that separate, will it? Okay, it'll work. And that really walked us through how to set it up. It was all under pre-registration, and we kind of played with how we did it. A lot of people probably, I'm assuming, set up the pre-registration site, let people register, they get a specific appointment time, and then they come in and they do the actual full application in person, verify documents, things like that. Or they did most of the inputting of the data themselves online, and then just came in to verify documents. What we did was we treated pre-registration just like registration. This past year, we didn't actually check for income or anything. We figured it was a really weird year. And so if you said you needed help, then we just trusted that you needed help. And so we let them register online. We transferred over the data into the Access database, and then it was done. And it took us maybe half an hour to sort through, clarify little things. People wrote in Spanish, which is great, but on the Angel tags, we needed it in English for our particular community. And so we translated that, or if they left, they frequently left the wishes out. And so we would just have to kind of guess, what does an 8-year-old boy want? And so we would fill that stuff in. But when you consider that we had to shut down our office and do a full registration that took like a week, seeing people, as much as I loved it, as much as it was great to connect with people like that, this took about an hour of our time total.
Right.
So the online option is really fantastic. he makes it very simple. He gives a standard website, but then it's got a specific access code for your core. And so they don't have, so we just put it on Facebook. We just put the website and the access code on Facebook. And registration went really quick. We maxed out, we were going to put it up for like 2 weeks. We maxed out in 4 days. We had to shut it down because otherwise we'd never fulfill all of those angels. But he walks you through everything. It's really, really, really simple when he, as he's taking you through it. There's a public facing URL, which is, that's not going to help you. I'm sorry. That's not going to help you at all. You don't care about that yet. You will later. But he gives you a really great document on exactly how to go about doing it. Very detailed with pictures and everything. Like I couldn't have done it that nicely without, the help. So I think it's a good program. You just have to be a little bit flexible about making it work for your core situation.
Printing, a lot of people asked about this, and I will just show you quickly here. This is let me go to the Angel Records. You just go to Angel Records here. Okay, I'll tell you, I don't know, because like I said, I didn't use Angel Webb last year. And I might not have used it the year before. I might have. I know I did use it the year before. And printing caused me anxiety.
Oh no.
With the program. I was like, I cannot do this. So, and that's one of my favorite things about this. I print right from the printer in my office. I can go to these, whatever my angels are, if I had, however many, and I just click this, and then the options come up at the bottom. Per angel, I can print them right from here. I believe in Angel, I had to load it, but I'm gonna let Michelle speak to that. And that like caused me like, oh my gosh, and especially like if we did like a batch and then had to do another batch. This I can go right from here and print these angel tags. I could also print Forgottens from here, which I don't like to have the name on Forgottens, but the Forgotten angels that are available in the TSAMM are very generic. It's like 4-year-old boy, get 4-year-old toy. And I had put some of those out, and people in the community were like, what am I supposed to get for this? And they were calling in, and they really didn't like that. What we found in this community is that people wanted a tag, and they wanted to just get what was specifically on that tag, and if they don't have a 4-year-old boy, they don't really know what a 4-year-old boy wants. And so they don't, they just want to pick it and get what's on it. So I have noticed that in the setup this time, when you set up your angel, you can decide what your angel is going to print, and I can have it not print the name. And so what I would do is when I go to print Forgotten Angels, I would use this information, but first I would go to reset that it doesn't print the name for the Forgottens, but I still get specific information, because that's what donors are calling me like, I don't care if it's if you're going to give it to somebody that just give me the card. I don't want to have to figure it out. So the other thing I like about printing for this is that it has this filter. And so I can put either the angel numbers, I can go into my allocation, whoever I have it allocated to. So if I want to print off, if Dillard's adopted 20 angels, I can go and print off just theirs. If it's time for me to print like female or male, I can print that. I can print a certain age and gender. Sometimes people ask for all teenagers. So I can go print that. And once I refresh it, it comes up down here. And then I just click that. I can also, if I know, say 3 of these are not, I can uncheck them. And so for me, I am just not technically inclined at all. And so for me, this was the easiest thing. The fact that I can sit here at my computer, I can turn and put my angels in, and I can have them set up. I usually put a post-it note on my printer, boy angels and girl angels. I keep so that I don't print out a bunch of girls on boys. But if you do the universal ones, that really doesn't matter anyway. So for printing, for me, I've used both, and that was the worst part for me, and the way that my brain works for Angel Webb, and that was my favorite part for this. I'm going to let Michelle tell you though how the printing works for Angel Webb.
Yeah, Rachel's correct. The printing is actually a little bit difficult. Again, he walks you right through it, so it's not the end of the world. But you do have to download the data through this. And so you download the full data, and that takes, it logged me out. It logs you out really quickly. You have to download the full data. It takes a while. I don't have access on this particular computer, so I can't show you exactly. And then you have to go in through Access and find the right thing, the right one to print. But once you get it going, and once you know how to do it, it's fine and it runs smoothly. It's just kind of getting it started, especially if you're not very familiar with Access. But if you've got somebody, fortunately, my husband's really good at this stuff. If you've got somebody like Nick, who is really great at that, then it's really not a problem. It's very easy. And like I said, he really does walk you through it. And the tech support's so great that if you're having trouble, he's back to you really, really quickly. And so, you can do that very easily with him. The same thing for like reports. It's all in that same Access database, and you can configure the information in whatever way you need to have it configured.
Yeah.
So that part of it is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
The reports are really, really dynamic. You're going to get whatever you need out of it.
Yeah.
My challenge is figuring out which button to click.
Well, go ahead, actually,
but it's
Michelle,
there.
since you're talking about that, and you've already got your screen up,
yeah.
Because what I have heard, where printing seems to be a pro more on the TSAMM side, the printing seems to be easier. I have heard a lot of people say that they appreciate the reports more in Angel Webb. So why don't you go ahead and talk about that, since you're
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that download full data, and that includes literally everything that you've typed in. So let me just show you really quickly what the actual report looks like. Or I'm sorry, the actual application in the system looks like, because that's that kind of matters, right? So we just ran a test one. You put in your family information. You put in your head of household, you put in income, you put in the angels specifically, however many kids there are, there's space for 14 kids. So,
I didn't know.
Listen, it's 14 kids. If you have more than that, you'll have to do a separate application. I've had 12 in one family before. So wow. I was worried. And then you just go to print application, and then you get to see all the information that you've typed in. You have them sign it. You print this, it's got their appointment time. It's got the location. So if they have to keep this paper and bring it back for distribution, but it makes it really, really clear. So then all of this information for all of your angels is put into that Access database. And then you can pull out different reports. You need to know how many 6-year-olds you've got, you can get it. You need to know how many, anything you want to know. I do floor sheets from it. I do a master checklist so that as we're doing distribution, I've got 1A checked off, 1B checked off, right. So it works like that. This whole section right here is reports. You've also got like statistics right here. It's so dynamic. You're going to find out anything that you need to find out, far more than I'm able to utilize it, because I'm just not that good. Yeah. Even though I've been doing it for like 9 years, I know what I need, and that's how I do it. But yeah, so the printing is a little bit trickier. And I would definitely say if you need something that is very intuitive, very self-explanatory, then this one might be a little bit harder for you. But if you're on a budget and you've got some time to figure it out and you've got somebody who's really good, like this is such a great way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. For the reports, I have noticed when I looked up that it looks like TSAMM in fact tried to improve their game. They might have got word on the street that your reports aren't cutting it, TSAMM. Anyway, you go to reports here. And now a lot of these things won't show up until I have it, but here are all the reports that you're able to use. I did not use the clearinghouse, so I don't know how successful that is, or really how it works. The applicants and Angels, it looks like, were new this year, and when you go to create a new report, it has all of this that you can put on it. And so I think this new, where you can do this with applicants and put what it is that you want on the report and then generate the report.
Sure.
Also, a lot of reports that they have say like export to Excel. Excel is another program that I look at and I'm like, that if that's your kind of mind and you're good at that, then, I think that there's some places where you can do that. The floor reports are actually not in reports. It's where you can go to, and I do have to familiarize, but I was looking at it. It takes me like by the end of the season, I'm like up to date again. But this is where here. So I have one family. You can export it to Excel. You can print your applications, which come up. Let's see, confirm print. It might tell me I'm not hooked up here, but okay, so it comes up, I like that it has the numbers on the side. We use those a lot because we print them all off and put them in a binder and we work from them. I do turn them the other way when I print them. Just works better for us. We keep them in a binder and then we work totally from these in the warehouse. So we also use the computer a little bit, but I'm not too comfortable with the computer. So I use the computer and have somebody put them in that way, but I work from here. So like I, put a star if they have a bike, I highlight them when they get checked off and I can flip through those and label them pretty easy. It has all of the information on it. It also has the, pickup date and location and time in that way. So I really like those reports and the easiness to print them. The family label and the print warehouse label, I don't remember which one I liked better, but I will show them to you because I know that's a big deal to people. Like, what is our labels going to look like? Let's see. So this was the family. What did I put on there? Was that the family label that you can put? And I think I might have used these for the floor, but this is the family label that you can print off for bags, and you can do, more than one on a page. So, oh yes, this is what I used for the bags. I put 2 on a page, and then I get 2. I get colored sticky paper and run them through. And so I have a big giant label, and you can also blow these up. You can make it, the numbers and everything, a little bit bigger. So that's that one. And then the warehouse label, I think this is the one that I used for I put them on the cars. Yes, I put these on the cars, and then I shrunk them down to where it was 9. So it only took up about this much of the page, and I would stick it. I stapled it to it. I'll talk more about this as the season goes on, but I stapled it to it. And then I would have a label on the car, and then they could take the stapled copy off and bring it into the person with the bag, so that the wrong bag didn't go to the car. The number always stayed on the car. So you can print those out in different sizes, which was helpful to me, and that's what I used for that. So I like the reports. There's not a whole lot of reports. For me, that's less overwhelming. I know for some people, they like a lot of records and a lot of reports. It does look like TSAMM has upped their game. So I'm not sure. Maybe Michelle and I through the season will be able to kind of compare reports. Wouldn't be helpful this season, but maybe for next, maybe we can compare reports a little bit more, and see, what's going to work in the future. But as of right now, I haven't used the new report system that they have. And so I don't know that would be helpful. So, but I like what's there. I like the easiness of printing the labels, and those reports I like those, the application.
Are you able to print something that's like a master checklist, like every single bag that's supposed to be out there?
That's a really good question. Oh, maybe the Angel report. So this does look like it would have the bags over here.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, just something so that because the way we do it, our warehouse kind of works in two rooms. Like we've got the loading up room, and then we've got the boxes where we put the bags in so that everything is organized and stuff. And no bag gets through the door without being checked off the list, so that I have one checklist to know that, this has been done, this hasn't been done.
Right.
And so that's like the most critical report for me, to be able to have every single bag that is supposed to be out on the floor on a list.
Yeah. And I think for me, my most critical would be the last name report. I do it by last name and by application number, and I can do both of those. And so I keep the application number list and the last name, and that's kind of what I work off of. And it especially helps if people are like, I don't know my appointment time. If they apply online, the online system that TSAMM sends them an email. And actually last year we had to totally change our distribution date, which was a nightmare the week before. But when we went in and would change their date and time, it would shoot them off an email. So
that's wonderful.
So I still had somebody call them. She was home for quarantining for COVID anyway, after we got it. So I was like, while you're home, can you just call? And so she called everybody, but the email and to let them know that they were getting a new appointment, but they had gotten their emails and it did change it. And so I really love that. So and then this time I've seen that you can set a message to send to certain people. So if you want to send out an email to, it had like a list of like either that they're approved or they're declined. You can send out a mass message and say, send it to this list of people, and then it'll just email it out. So I definitely that's new this year. I didn't notice it last year. And I think that'll probably be really it may come in, it may not be something you need until you need it. And you're like, I wish we had it.
Yeah, sure.
So, So anyway, I think, with the reports, I think it just probably depends on what's important to you, what how you run your warehouse. And, like you go off list, I go off of the applications. Actually, I print them all out, which yours is probably definitely more.
Mine might be a little more environmentally friendly, but that's okay. It's Angel Tree.
That is very true. So, I print front and back.
Well, that's good.
Okay, so tech support. Let's touch on tech support real quickly. And you've mentioned several times tech support is very helpful for you. I will go back into this real quick. Tech support, I like that they have these training videos. I found these super helpful. I watched them before I started when I first came onto the program, and I was like, whoa, like, just the whole thing. They have webinars sometimes to help. I'll probably watch them again to refresh my memory on some stuff, or to see if there's things that I could be doing that I'm not, that would be helpful. But I love this as tech support. And also, when you log on to, I should have like labeled what these screenshots are, because yeah, I really just taught myself to screenshot yesterday. So please be patient with me. When I used to before we had phones, and then I totally forgot. So that's not it. Anyway, on that screen, when you first set up, it gives you the email and the hotline. And when you, um, I was always contacted if I called in the morning. I was always contacted by the afternoon, and if I called in the afternoon, I was always contacted by usually by lunchtime the next day. And also, if you email, that seems to be probably maybe more efficient, but sometimes it's like when we need help for Angel Tree, email seems like, I need it right now. So, to call, but they're always pleasant and very helpful. I only had a couple problems. So it was really just user error. And then one printing glitch where like a few of my angels weren't printing on the page. And I'm like, these angels cost a lot of money. I need everyone to be printed on. And so they fixed it by the next day. So I thought the tech support was great.
Yeah.
What about?
Yeah, like I've said, I've emailed Peter Horn a couple of times with tech questions over the years. I've had an answer seriously within like an hour.
Yeah.
The one downside though is that he's just one man doing this as kind of a passion project.
Yeah.
And so if he's got personal stuff going on, then you gotta wait. Right. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, their family could really use prayer right now. The Horn family could use prayer.
Yeah,
so if you have questions and you wanted to email him about it, you're probably not going to hear back this week, just because they've got stuff. But he's always been really fantastic, and he doesn't have videos, but like I showed before, he's got those FAQs and the screenshots, and he puts out new stuff whenever things change to really help you through it. And so it's not terrible. I mean, I'm able to set it up, and I'm not the most techie person either. So it's definitely manageable. Overall, I think it's a good, I've used it for the last 9 years. I think it's a good program, 8 or 9 years.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. So here's the thing. Favorite things and what you are hoping that you may see different this year, or in addition to kind of your pros and cons of the program for you.
Okay. Favorite things. I absolutely love, I love the floor sheets. I love how easy it is to put in applications and how customizable it is.
Yeah.
I would love to see maybe a little bit more dynamic online presence for when we're doing the online applications. But again, that was something that was brand new, last year. And so we were kind of trying things out and stuff. And I imagine it's a little bit better this year anyway. Overall impressions, it's a really good, solid program. You're going to get whatever you need out of it. You just have to know how to work through it, and be willing to be patient with it, because it is a little bit more of a learning curve than what TSAMM appears to be.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. I think my favorite parts of TSAMM are definitely the printing, the setup. I appreciate the setup. I like videos for the learning, because I learn better that way, just to see it while it's actually happening. So I will actually usually watch the video while I'm doing it at the same time. on my computer. The reports that are there, I like that I can print them right off of the application thing. I'm not missing reports, but I will tell you as an overall perspective, it does sound like some people that were with us liked the reports. So if you're like you want a lot of reports and that's your thing, Angel Webb may be your program for that. But if it's hard for you to print or transfer programs, or you're not, is it access minded, Michelle?
It is entirely access based.
Yeah. So if that's
there's stuff in Excel as well, but I mean, you have to print the labels or the angel tags out of access anyway, so you may as well just use access for everything. It's it's the easiest way.
It is definitely more pricey, TSAMM. For me, it's worth it because I like to know, this is the one area where I really kind of want to know every area that's going on. And if I have to try to figure out technical stuff, and, I depend on my husband a lot for that as well. But during Christmas, he's like, really? Can you just hire a new husband for the season? So, for me to be able to actually, this one was empowering to me because I could go look at the videos, and the setup of it was so easy that I was like, yes, I love to do that. And so I do wish 2,500 angels is kind of a large place to start. And so for smaller corps that have less than 25 angels, which we are one, I do wish that there was maybe something a little less expensive, just one more category down that might be helpful to some of the corps, that if that's the reason they're not doing it, to do it. But that's really all I have. I will say that I'm going to be Angel Tree with me. Have y'all seen the Plan With Me videos? I'm going to do Angel Tree with me this year. We'll see. I'm going to share with you the good, bad, the ugly, the things that work for me, have not worked for me, blown up in my face. And I'm going to be doing that all season long. So if you're on the fence about what program to go with, I will try to involve other people that are doing Angel Webb through the season. But as we know, the season gets super crazy. And so I'm going to be showing some more stuff on what I'm doing as I go along, when I print things, how I organize things. And so if you have the funds and you're not sure, and you're like, both of them seem good, or I'm not really sure, I'm going to be sharing mine with you. So you might want to go that route. But if not, if you don't go that route and you go Angel Webb, wonderful. I'm going to try to have some people. And like I said, the tech support is good. He's got some informational stuff. So either way you go, they're really good programs. And you may still be able to get some helpful hints off of my Angel Tree with me. So Angel Tree is kind of my jam. I love it. It is like one of my all-time favorite programs. So I will toot my horn a little bit and say, if you're not good at Angel Tree, please tune in to my Angel Tree with me. I'd love to have you. Michelle, you're awesome. Thank you for doing this with me. I know that everybody's super busy, especially this time of year, but I called and you're like, yeah, cool. Also, by the way, Jennifer Phillips is the one that thought of you instantly when I said, who else do you know might use it? And she said, I think Michelle would be great at that. And I think she uses it. So anyway, thank you. Thank you so much
thanks
for your
having
time.
me. It was fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. Merry Christmas.
If you're interested in Angel Tree with Me videos throughout the rest of the season, then make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell beside the subscribe so you get the messages when it comes up. Also check the description spot below this video and it will tell you the timestamps for this if you want to come back and reference. And it will also give you the information for Peter Horn's system, Angel Webb, and the TSAMM program if you're interested in either one of those. And I hope y'all have... My plant is... I'd also like to take this moment to thank my special plant holder, Tucker McCain. Tucker? Yeah. Can you please stand? Videos don't just happen, folks.
Hi.
And he got a little shaky there at the end. Make sure you subscribe. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to reading your comments. And we will see you. We will see you next time. Thank you.
Baby.